Hi, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. We need to start this episode with a quick rules clarification. In the last episode, I said when Luke used the Librarian's Guild, he'd be able to draw 3 cards from the property deck, pick 2 to keep, and then one of them he'd have to discard. That was kind of true because at the time he didn't have any other property cards in his hand, but that probably created some confusion because the real wording of the Librarian's Guild is that you add those 3 cards you drew to your hand, and then you can discard any card you want that you have. So it could be one of those 3 new cards you drew or a card that you already had previously. Hopefully that clears it up. Let's get Luke back down here and then we'll continue our Belfort playthrough. Alright, well, I'm back, but more importantly,
Luke's back.
That's right. Luke, we're ready to continue the action phase. Our player suggestions, once again, a little team up here between Xavier and Pillinger. Xavier had the initial idea, and Pillinger just modified it a bit and got the most votes. So let's get everyone to the table and find out what they want me to do. First up, my elf is returning from the blacksmith, and he's bringing with him 1 piece of metal, which I'm going to go right to the trading post with this and sell it to collect 1 gold. And then I'm going to use that 1 gold to buy 1 wood. Remember, you can do 1 buy and 1 sell action per turn at old Crazy Ord's trading post. So there goes the wood. And I had to do all those transactions so I would have enough materials to build the keep.
Ooh.
That's going to cost 3 wood, 3 stone, and both my metal. So I am all out of resources. But now I get to place 2 property markers. That's one of the big benefits. And I'm going to place it here in this region to give myself a solid majority, even though I know you've been trying to work the other non-players in here. And finally, I'm going to spend 1 coin here, and I'm going to buy a face-down property card, which I'm going to hang on to. And now we go to the non-player's action phase. Okay, well, Luke, you're the first player now. That means you're controlling non-player 3, our friend Harvey. What do you want to build?
I'm going to build a blacksmith.
Okay, so you're going to take one of these cards here, flip over. Let's see what you could have gotten. A market. And where do you want to put that blacksmith property?
Right here.
Well, this is tough for me because I'd love to be able to get the market. Look at that. Put a worker on it. Doesn't cost you anything to put the worker there. You get 2 gold when you take it off. The market also gives you a gold during income. Pretty fantastic, but I'm not the first player, so Luke's going to have the first chance to buy one of these. I would guess he would buy this. So I'm going to have Walters instead take this, discard it, and place a property right here in this market. We'll flip over. The next oh, it's a gardens. Okay, not too bad. Well, to finish up the non-players, we move their dwarves 1 space forward like so. That means the Librarian's Guild and the Recruiter's Guild is blocked up for this round. Well, for the coming round, because there's no scoring phase on this round. We're now moving on to the next round. Calendar phase means we move it forward. Look, we're on an X. That means at the end of this round, there will be a scoring phase. All right, well now it's
the placement phase.
That's right. And I have a little bit more help coming to me from Pillager. He gave me 1 suggestion for the placement phase, which I am going to take. I know, Luke, you've been really thinking hard about what you want to do. Let's get you guys to the table. Let's find out what it is.
Because I'm first player, I'm going to go to the Banker's Guild with an elf.
Okay.
Cost 1 coin.
That's right. You want some money.
Yep.
Well, I'm also going to go to a guild, and this is the suggestion that came to me, to go to the Wizard's Guild. That's going to cost me my last gold. Over to you, Luke.
I'm going to pass.
All right.
I'm going to put 1 elf here, a master and a dwarf here, metal dudes.
Team up to get some metal.
And some gold.
You are going to be rolling in money.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm not going to pass yet. I'm going to take one of my dwarves and put them on my blacksmith property.
Okay.
And now I'm going to pass. I'm going to place a master elf and a regular elf into the woods.
Ooh.
A single dwarf is going to go into the quarry. And then finally, I'm going to put a dwarf and an elf into the mines. Which ends?
Our placement phase.
Well, by now, you guys know exactly what phase it is. Collection phase. Luke, I feel like you're going to outdo me here.
Yep.
Now, in the woods, I have a master. That gives me 2 wood plus a regular, so that's a total of 3.
Yeah.
I get the bonus for having the most, so that's a total of 4, actually. You get...
1.
That's right. And so then we move over to the quarry. Now here, I only have 1 dwarf, so I get 1 stone. And what about you?
But I have a master and normal, so I get 3. But because I have the most, I get 4.
That's right, the big bonus. Okay. Now we move over to the mines, and Luke and I have...
Tied.
Yeah, we're tied here. So I'm just going to get 1 medal, and Luke's going to get 1 medal.
Here.
Thank you very much. And now we go over to the mine, and Luke, you've got 2 workers, so you get...
2 gold.
And because you have the most workers...
1 more.
That's right. Okay, well, we go here and we see that these are empty. We can skip right to the income and taxes. And Luke, I think when you were grabbing the stone, you forgot one.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay. Well, Luke and I are in the same boat here.
Yeah.
You're getting 3 income from your properties. I'm getting 3 income from my properties, and we both have to pay 2 in taxes. So, we each get to collect
1.
a single gold. Except you have a lot more gold than I do. I only have
4.
1. You have 4. That's not so great. Well, let's see if I can improve things as we head into the action phase.
So to start, my elf is going to come back from the bank. He stole 3 gold.
He stole the gold?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you'll want to go back to that guild again. 3 gold for you. Okay, what's next?
Next, I'm going to build the tower.
The tower. This is going to cost you 1 wood, 3 stone, and 1 metal. Okay. That's going to give you income as well.
Yeah.
Now what would you like to do?
I'm going to get a gnome.
Okay, it's going to cost you 3 gold. Whew, we're really getting down on the gnomes.
Gnomies.
I'm guessing you want to place them on the tower.
Yep. Swamp out more gnomes.
Anything else that you want to do?
I'm going to buy the gardens.
Okay, the gardens are right here. It's going to cost you 1 coin. Got to pay up that coin. All right, and here is your gardens. Oh, Luke, you forgot to place a property marker for your tower.
I'm going to put it right there.
I don't like that one bit.
And for your help, flip over a card.
Oh, I forgot to flip over a property card. Ooh, a market. I like the looks of that. Okay, so your action phase is over.
Yep.
Time for me to get involved. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is have my dwarf come back from the Wizards Guild. He's been cooking up some magic, and we are going to exchange places here, Luke.
What?
In the keep. I got to give credit where credit is due. Once again, Pillinger was thinking ahead. This is what he thought maybe I should do. So now I have a majority in this space where you used to have one, and here I still have a majority with my 3 against your 2. Of course, we still have those non-players who could upset things. Now I'm going to have a dwarf come back from the blacksmith so I can collect another piece of metal because I want to build the library. So the library costs 3 wood, 1 stone, and 2 metal. Now I have to place a property marker. This was a really tough choice. And I'm trying to think ahead to what Luke might do with his non-players. So I'm going to place mine here in the library in this spot. So even if Luke was to pop another non-player in here, I'll have majority still. Now I only have 1 gold left, and I normally would like to save this for the next placement phase. But instead I'm going to spend this and pick up a market card, which I have to of course replace right away. And there's a library. I feel like that could have been a big mistake. We'll find out. But first, we have the non-players to take care of. So Luke, non-player 3, Mr. Harvey, where are we putting them?
I'm going to use the library card and go right here.
Okay, so we'll discard the library card and replace it with...
Pub.
Pub. Well, I gotta say, this is not an easy choice for me. I don't really see a lot of good options. I certainly don't see a place I can put it to take points away from Luke. So I think I'm just going to get this purple one out of the way. So I'm going to take this blacksmith card, and I'm going to put it right here, and then flip over this card here.
Who's it going to be?
It's a pub. Well, there you go. And so now we move the dwarfs over 1 space. The Wizards Guild's blocked. So is the Masons Guild. Now it's the scoring phase. And we know it's a scoring phase because underneath the calendar marker, there's an X. So let's start by scoring up the district majorities. Now, I think you guys probably have a good handle on the scoring, so I'm going to try to do this one district after the other, all in one take here. But if you see here, we have the scoring board just to remind you. First place in a district gets 5 points, second place in the district gets 3, and third place gets 1 point. So in this first district here, I have a property, but so does purple. So we're tied for the most properties in that district, which means we get demoted down from first place to second place. We'll both get 3 points. Well, only I get 3 points because purple is a non-player. Moving over to this district, Luke has 3 properties, which gives him the absolute majority. And then red has 2, which puts him into second place. And then myself and purple are tied. So we were technically in third place, but because we're tied, we get demoted 1 step into fourth place. And there are no points for fourth place, so I get nothing. But Luke gets 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving up into the top district, I have the clear majority here with 3 properties. And Luke is tied for second place because he has 2 properties, and so does purple. So they get demoted from second place down to third. So Luke's only going to get 1 point while I collect 5. And then moving into this district here, again, I have the clear majority with 3 properties. And Luke is tied in second place with the red player, so again gets demoted down from second place to third. So I'm going to collect 5 points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Luke is going to collect 1. Okay, time for worker majorities now. And we just put out one of the non-players here to remind everybody that the non-players are considered to have 4 dwarves and 4 elves. So, looking at the dwarves, I have 4. Luke, you have 4, and the non-players have 4. We're all tied, so we get kicked down to the second rank. We'll each get 1 point.
1.
Okay.
1.
Now, what about the elves? Here, Luke is tied in first place. He has 4, so does the non-player. I only have 3. So Luke is going to get the 1 point. I'm going to get nothing. And then moving on to gnomes, Luke, you're in the clear lead. You have 4. I only have 3. So Luke's going to get 3 points.
Yep.
And I'm going to get 1. And that ends the scoring phase. Well, I have to say, I think that scoring phase went pretty good for me.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Not too good.
Right.
But because you're ahead, you have to pay more taxes.
This is true. I am in a higher tax bracket. I'm going to have to pay 5 coins in taxes. You're going to have to pay 4. Because you're not that far from me.
No.
I have to keep worrying about them. I can't relax just yet. That ends that round. Now we move on to the next round. Starting with the calendar phase, we'll advance the calendar marker into autumn. No X on this particular month's space, so it means there won't be a scoring phase at the end of this round. But let's move on to the placement phase. Now, I did pretty good during the scoring phase, but now I'm totally jammed up during this placement phase because I have no money, which means I can't go to any of the guilds. I only have a couple of properties I can go on that are free. Luke, however, has 3 gold.
Yeah.
You got lots of options. What do you want to place first?
I'm going to put a dwarf in the Librarian's Guild.
Okay, that's going to cost you 1 of your gold. I'm going to place an elf onto my blacksmith. Thankfully, that doesn't cost me anything. What do you want to do next, Luke?
I'm going to put another dwarf on the Recruiter's Guild.
All right, spend another coin. And I am going to pass, because I've got nowhere else I can place anything. Well, nowhere else I want to place things. So I have 3 dwarfs that I'm going to place into the quarry. Nothing's going to go into the woods. I'm also going to place an elf and a dwarf into the mines. And then finally, my master elf is going to go into the gold mines.
And now I'm going to go to my tower with an elf. It cost 1 gold.
Okay. The tower is going to let Luke recruit a gnome during his action phase. Well, Luke, I already passed, so it's back to you again. What do you want to do now?
Pass.
Okay. So where are you going to place the rest of your workers?
I'm going to place 3 of these in the woods.
3 elves into the woods.
1 here.
1 dwarf into the quarry.
And then my master elf there.
Oh, into the gold mine. So on to the collection phase. Luke, you've got some people in the woods. What do you get?
3 wood.
3 wood.
Plus 1 more.
All right, you get the bonus for having the most workers. And then if we look into the quarry, I have 3 dwarfs. So I'm going to get 3 stone plus the bonus for having the most workers.
Yep.
Luke, you're going to get to have?
1.
Just 1. Okay. We go into the mines, and you can see that I have the most workers here. So I'm going to get to collect a total of 2 metal. And Luke, we're tied up again over in those gold mines.
Yeah.
But we both put masters in.
Yeah.
You get 2 gold.
Yes, I do.
And I get 2 gold. And who gets the bonus?
Nobody.
Nobody gets the bonus. Okay, well, we can move right on to income and taxes. Well, this makes me a little bit sad. I have a total income of 4, but I have to pay 5 in taxes. So I'm not going to bother collecting any gold, and I'm just going to pay 1 gold back to make up the difference. What about you, Luke? How much income do you make?
4.
That's right, and Luke has to pay 4. So you get nothing, but hey, you didn't have to pay out anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now we go on to Luke's action phase.
So my dwarf came back from the Librarian's Guild and stole some books.
He stole some books. Why didn't you just check them out like everybody else? Your workers are turning into big thieves.
Yep.
Okay, so Luke is to take 3 cards from the property deck, add them to his hand. That's going to give him a total of 4 cards in hand right now. But he must return one of them. So I guess it wasn't a clean getaway.
I'll do this one.
Okay, so Luke is going to discard a tower card, which means he now has 3 property cards in hand.
So my dwarf came back and he stole an elf.
He stole an elf from the Recruiters Guild. Okay,
Yep.
well, Luke gets another elf worker.
So I'm going to use my gnome in the bank to collect the gold.
Okay, so Luke gets another gold. Gold is coming out of your ears.
And now I'm going to build the gardens.
Okay, that's going to cost you 3 wood and 2 stone. You get to place a property marker. Where do you want to put that?
I'm going to place my garden right here.
Okay.
And for my next action, I'm going to take my elf from the tower.
Right.
And I'm going to get a gnome, please.
Another gnome. The gnomes are dwindling down.
And put it on the garden.
That makes sense. So you immediately get to turn one of your elves into a master elf.
Ding, ding. So yeah, Dad, I'm done.
Okay, well, no one's going to argue with the fact that you just had a very good action phase.
Fantastic.
Yes, it was fantastic. I don't feel like I'm leaving you guys with a lot of great choices to help me out here, but I am leaving it to you. Put your suggestions in the YouTube comments below. Whatever gets the most votes, that's what I'm going to come back and do. Well, Luke, until the next episode, thanks for watching.